gives warmth, but the cold gives protection. Shadow Clan's code for warriors of peace.
Welcome back, folks, to Chapter 2 of Ash of the Gods, Redemption. Click to continue. Let us continue.
Year 1002 since divine retribution. Spring equinox. Kingdom of Frisia. The city of Voden. A procession approaches the city. Hundreds, no, thousands, walk to Voden, shackled and closely guarded.
Oh, we're playing a different character now. You observe the surroundings of a tall rampart. It's your job to foresee any threats, especially those another might overlook. Something menacing is in the air. Might have something to do with the prisoners. You are a bodyguard of the highest rank, a warrior of the Shadow Clan. Your client, Count Helko Soruri, shows you off like a golden belt buckle. It makes no difference to you. In the end, you're loyal to your clan. The streets are full of gawkers, city dwellers, and villagers who brought their whole family to the festival. However, temple inquisitors, not initiated entertainers, preside over the ceremony. They offer a special kind of entertainment. There will be executions and torture to commemorate the spring equinox. This time, there will be an astonishing number of victims. The city will drown in blood. Okay. Temple servants, your client is meeting with an important temple servant. You should stay close. Commanding the guardsman is a tall temple servant. Many in the crowd whisper his name. Nakoma. Count Pelko Sorumi approaches him, arms wide open. Finally, you're here. How was the journey, Your Holiness? What news? Would you like to rest or begin the festivities immediately? Have you considered my request? Remain impassive. The Count notices looking this way and that in the balls of his tiny fist in anger. No need to fret, Count. The Third Legion is already on the march, and you should let fate do the work when considering the commanding of 3 legions. Other commanders might suffer from falling sickness, or their tents could be attacked by bandits. Do you follow me? Does the temple permit such tricks of fortune? How should I pursue the fate like this? Will the temple advise me? The temple of divine wrath only instills anger, so take my advice. The temple of divine wrath only instills anger. Turn your head slightly. Noticing your interest. Forget about gold and jewels, but keep any sticks you find. They won't make you a commander of 3 legions, but they might save your life. What do you mean, Your Holiness? Is every temple you hear that the sticks are the stones of the reaping? Is that your warning? How can sticks put me in command of the 3 legions? Your Archeon can bring you your 3 legions most easily than the servants bringing the chamber pot. Test him if you doubt him. I like this sort of entertainment. If your bodyguard slays a dozen or 2 Frisian guards, I'll turn a blind eye. You are absolutely still. Promotion touches you like a breeze, but your inner peace is undisturbed. We're always ready for whatever happens. Lo Peng, stay here. I need to speak with His Holiness in private. Don't worry, I'll be safe in Koma's company. Meanwhile, make sure that everything is in order. Nod. A satisfying grin blooms across the Count's face. He interprets your nod as a bow, it seems. This day last year, 2 murderers were tortured to death in the city square. This year brings many more victims, but they look nothing like murderers. Let's see here. Executioner. Let's look at this person. Seems that an ungainly fellow is the executioner. He is in conversation with the old inquisitor, clad in black robes, bearing the sign of the temple. The old man appears to outrank him, but the executioner will preside over the coming festivities. The executioner checks the steel spikes protruding from the walls and then looks at the tin box. Agran, why in blazes did you drive this herd to Wodan? You're only hanging 10 people at a time here. Do you mean to drive back the rest? The older man rummages through the crevice bag. Did you plug out your ears when I went over to the details? We slaughtered a dozen, maybe 2 dozen here. The rest we drive further. We're working for the grand cause, Bill. The ears. May I the way, don't forget the ears. Examine the executioner's dais. It's a wooden dais normally used by toll collectors to inspect wagons. Above it, steel spikes protruding from the wall. 4 of them show traces of dry blood. The rest are just rusty. Mel giggles. I remember your collection. What should I cut off this difference? Noses, perhaps? As for a grand cause, I'm happier to arrange smaller affairs. Smaller and sweeter. Dahlgren laughs. Don't tell me I saw you drool once a slice from a breast to crotch, just to see her guts spill. Just wait for it. You'll soon have it your way. We'll slay them by the hundreds. Man, I hate these guys. Why would I want to be part of this crap? Mel blissfully closes his eyes. So all this talk without opulent barika isn't just gospel. It's a long ways to go. Many won't make it. Still, there's nothing like fresh meat. Mel rubs his hands together. Wonder why anyone would drive prisoners towards war. Usually, it's the opposite. Let's go ahead and go to the Inquisitor. Before you approach the old man, Nakobe beats you to the punch. Yet Woolen is an ancient fortress. If you stand in the square of a specific spot, conversation can be heard in the distance. No one nods in your direction. Did you ever torture a man from the Shadow Clan? Burn him without iron? Cut his sinews? They say these men don't feel pain. The Inquisitor shrugs. I reckon aren't really human. Rumor has it that you can't cut a child to pieces in front of an Arkan, unless he was hired to protect that child. A warrior of the Shadow Clan won't so much as blink. It is said that they have no hearts. Arga smirks scornfully, as if you had a heart. Will you flinch if you have to cut up a child? How many have you disemboweled already? Perhaps we have something in common with the Warriors of Shadow. I'd love to see that one in action. Remain sincere. No, meet your eyes, but you look right through him, into the void. The old man coughs. I have a heart, your holiness. On occasions, it even aches a bit. Yours will too, when you live as long as I have. What do you think? Will we defeat Barakian this time? Naya pats the old man on his shoulders. Soon you'll see everything for yourself. All we need is to spill some blood, lots of blood, in the proper place. Woden is only the beginning. Agrin. Alright. Let's go to the prisoners. A red-haired prisoner girl watches you intently. She's busting to speak. Agrin and foul-smelling prisoners are pressed against the wall. The red-haired girl doesn't look traumatized, though she certainly is. You lose sight of her the moment Edgar drags a scrawny old man from the crowd. More women stand behind the red-haired girl. But she alone watches you. You remain calm and impassive, even when she calls out to you in Arcanian. Red girl is definitely not Arcanian. If she were, you'd have been forced to abandon your service and save your kin. Nothing else can interfere with your service to Paracorto, who pays you so well. Hey, warrior. My name is Reet. Can you feel what's happening? Isn't it time you remember your duty? Remain silent. Your inner peace is absolute. Open your eyes. That temple warrior is human. He's a reaper in human form. Do not reply. You are a warrior of peace. Nothing should disturb your inner calm. You should go with the flow of life, not stand midstream like a rock. Your girl can't unnerve you. As you leave, she hisses hatefully. Damn you! You have no idea. The reaping is coming. The reaping! Remain silent. The warrior's code of the Shadow Clan prescribes inner calm. Otherwise, you aren't useful. They get substantially sums of money from Count Perelko. You turn around to find Naruka staring at you with a contemptuous grin. He gives a sigh. You hear screams and choice swear words behind your back. The guards have picked up the girl Reet and is carrying her to the dais. The temple servants watch you closely. Okay. Something's supposed to happen? Oh, okay. There we go. Oh, we can look around this place. Okay. Let's talk to our main man. The festivities are about to begin. With nothing else to do, maybe you'll wait near your clients. You stand beside Pelroko Soroti. He's unfazed by the muffled howls of the prisoners, and his grumbling of the crowd for the smoke from the executioner's bazaar. He's almost triumphant, in fact. What will you do, Laopeng, knowing that the First Son officials plot my death? What if he plans to send assassins after me? Just planning. You know the answer. I know nothing. There's 2 officials fighting for command of the legions entrusted to me by the temple. They'll be at each other's throats once I'm dead. But that's not exactly comforting, is it? The legions are already on the march, but neither commander has joined them yet. One of them has just passed through the Kalyan tunnel, and the other is a little bit ahead. They don't have a large entourage, you would imagine. Who will protect you while I am away? I'll be perfectly safe while Naruka, the temple servant, is here. I want to test you first. There's a wretch who scorns his holiness. The red-haired scum mocks him all the way to Wodan. Kill her, and if I become commander of the 3 legions, I'll double your pay. Is that the only test? No, but the next one will cost you nothing. When you put the girl out of her misery, the guards will attack. Kill them, too. Several runaway prisoners will add to the confusion, and nobody will blame me for the turmoil. Because they will blame the Shadow Clan. You have nothing to fear, Erakion. If you sort out these officials, I have enough power to quell any discontent. You have my word. I shall kill her. Ooh. I shall kill her. Walk towards the dais. The prisoners don't look at you, eyes glued on the executioner, but Reet watches you closely. Push aside the executioner, who drops his instrument with a clatter, and meet the redhead's glaze. She smiles. You'll remember this moment until you draw your last breath. You'll blame yourself your whole life, but it will be too late to change. Pierce her through the heart. With one light stroke, you pierce the redhead's heart, cutting her song short. She dies, teeth clenched. Oh, shit. Whoops. Erakion breaks the silence, gripping the square. Accurate, but boring. Guards! To wipe the blade off of your sword, you're about to sheath it when the guards come to their senses and attack you. Hey, I'm a paid assassin, right? Oh shit. Alright, let's see, what are you gonna do? Start the battle. Let's go ahead and go ahead. Let's just go and kill him, right? Oh! Oh, go and kill them. Oh! Dang! Look at this death. Oh! Dang, he's such a badass. It's just like, stab. Stab. Oh! Good lord. Stab. Oh! Oh, that damage. You're barely hurting me, bro. Stab. Oh, he's going to kill the archer. Oh! Tons of damage. Oh! 112 points of damage. Oh! Yeah, just like that. Holy crap. A piece of real methane fashioned by the unknown craftsmanship into a likeness of undying flames. Offers better protection for the reaping it with smaller sticks. Okay. The guardsmen who dare oppose you lie dead in the flagstone. Other guards watch in terror. Panic spreads like wildfire. You turn around and Pona nods to you with a smile. Nakomi stands beside him, arms folded. Why are you seeing double, like the redhead cast an enchantment on you before she died? You head to the gate. A couple more blows shatter the cheap metal shackles. The prisoners crave freedom. Only a few will live to enjoy it, but that's not your concern. You must deal with the curse that the girl you've just killed carry out your orders.
In the first days of the Great Disaster, you rushed to a backwater town on the edge of a Burkanan kingdom. This time, it seems the dice rolling on the game board will be carved out of your bones.
Okay. This is chapter 3? That was a short chapter. Chapter 1 was a lot longer. Alright. I mean, you're supposed to be a badass, so... You sped forward like never before, leaving ravines and mountains passes behind you. Taking narrow passageways which had been swept away by masses of thawing snow by now. Yet still you did not make it to Albus by the spring aqueducts. The towers of the city are already visible, and you can hear the ringing of the bell and the roars of the torrented Medser. How did we miss it? What did this backwater Orton town do to incur the wrath of the gods? By Albus, there are dozens of other towns that look exactly like it. Is there some secret motive? You have a nauseating premonition. The stench of death fills your nostrils. Everything is just as Alma predicted, except for this one impossible fact. Even Alma could not foresee that there was Albus, and far away in the Furstrian city of Wodan, a mortal could resist a reaper. So far, you are the only one who knows it. You reach the town walls. The bell peals incessantly. Black smoke swirls overhead, and the stench of burning flesh fills your nostrils. Could it be a plague? Why are guards at the gate wearing Agerian uniforms? This is still an Ordanian kingdom. A vagabond. Curse him. Why is there never a damsel? Hey, daydreamer, come down to earth. Do you have any documents? All right, let's see. Nice to see you, Baron Rowley. Call me Mushroom. I am the commander here, and you, oh my, a healer and a baron in one. And a scribe, too. What brings your grace to faraway Albus? Nothing. Until you let me into the city, I'm no baron either. Call me Hopper. You talk like a German commander. What are the Adrian guards doing in an Albion town? Guarding, of course. There's already trouble in the western borders. Is that where you came from? Came down from the mountains. I've been to the mountain, to the Valley of Mercy, but took mountain passes to make it here just before the snow melted. I didn't even have time to visit Opacum. I believe that there is a Burkenman garrison on Opacum. Count Valorici is in command. He would not have let a healer leave his side, for as for local news, the reaping has begun. Well, almost. That makes no sense. Has the reaping begun or not? Can you tell me what's going on? Why do I smell human flesh burning? Does it stink already? I don't smell a thing. Gotten used to it, I suppose. Gotten used to it? That took getting used to? Should I turn away and run? Is there anywhere to hide? Anyhow, a monster appeared and sealed the gates and did its, what do you call it, spell or scorching? Or scoring? The folks in town started beating each other good. It wore off like a drink does, and it is when we came to the rescue. Smirking, the noble fears the plague, so we had to burn the corpses. Almost everyone in town has ulcers on their necks, but the temple servants are putting some kind of ointment on them to relieve the pain. So it seems that the reaping has begun, but stumbled. Stumbled, you say? Making its very first steps. I've examined various manuscripts, but none of them mention anything like this. Do you replace the bell ringer often?
Huh?
You don't like the tune? Doesn't bother me. I've gotten used to it. Or are you after the job? I could consider it if the pay was decent, but I don't like the noise. Hasn't the bell ringer gone deaf yet? Locals say that it is not for the bell ringing, but there would have been many more corpses now, looking like the ringing helped the crazies to come to their senses. Not instantly, but it got through the stuff that was clouding their minds. As for the bell ringer, not my responsibility. Is it ringing by itself then? Well, never mind. No use in trying to fit into another's shoes. So is it the reaping or not? What else can it be? I cannot be sure, but I trust my gut. The reaper, the plague, the signs, it all matches. Oh my, you've spotted a reaper. Every ancient manuscript I have stated that has the presence of a reaper, everyone falls to the ground. Manuscripts? What do I care about your manuscripts? When the reaper came, the townfolk did fall to the ground, a massive bottoms up, I'd say, but that's a bad pun. Some passed out, but this one merchant was sharper than the others. He saw something. Do you think our detachment just happened to stroll by? I admire your effort, Mushroon. You must pretend to say too much. Yet you have said a little in excess. You have been listening carefully this whole time, but I have nothing to hide. I am what I am, a scribe, a book lover, a healer. I do odd jobs on the side. It's enough chit-chat for now. I don't have all day, buddy. We're not as blissful last so that you're done chit-chatting. Welcome to Albus. Why, some of the guards. Did I offend you? Nah, I'm too good at defending. Thing is, I have orders. If I see a scribe at the gate, I send him to the Cardinal Corazon. That's none of my business. You say Corazon? I used to know a man named Corazon. Now you have the guards. Since you are the Cardinal's good friends, you'll get along. Unlike him and our prince, my men will escort you. Goodbye for now.
The town looks glum in the aftermath of the tragic events. The reaping has indeed begun. You barely have enough time to look around as the guards briskly lead you to the town square.
So is this the place we started? Okay. You arrive at the town hall with an escort of guards. One of them, a tall, hulking man, stays behind, the others leave. You size him up, then point to the entrance of the nearby shop. He obviously wants you to go there. The ear-splitting peals of the bell make you wonder how the Cardinal stands it. As you take in the town hall, guards take stock of your horse. My name's Alkin, he says. If Mushroom got it right, you're Hopper Riley. A peculiar man, a book lover, healer, and baron. Talk to like. You face a giant warrior smiling your friendliest smile. Why does your horse wait for you by the tent like a dog? Is it trained or something? Does it bark on command too? No bark, all bite. Keep that in mind. Be careful with this beast. With disapproval, like I need that horse of yours. It's too scrawny. My feet will probably scrape the damn ground. If the horse could collapse under my weight, that is. Look after it, Aga, and you'll see that I pay my debts. I've been lent you a thing, and I'm not going to. Your horse isn't going anywhere, and neither are you. You are not leaving this town until you've spoken to the cardinal. He and the prince argue about that. Triggered dispiritedly because the temple sees the right to inspect all scribes and mages coming to town. Okay, so let's see here. The bell continues to ring. Tent, small shop. Okay, so we have to go to the tent. Speaking to himself, Trig, the Prince of Jiren, you didn't look so worn out last time I saw you. What aggravates you so, your highness? The beginning of the reaping or the incessant rain? Who are you? I've been told that a certain scribe has arrived in town. Is it you? A healer and a wandering sorcerer with a license? Haparuli, your face looks familiar. Might we have met? We have met in your palace, your highness, about 3 years ago. I had gotten my scribe license. I spent my whole year going through your archives. Can't remember every single palace scribe. Now, if you were a good swordsman, we could talk. I see you have a sword and a staff. Is that overkill? And what brings you to Albus? The staff is for walking. The sword is for defending. Such are the times we live in. You either carry a sword or someone carries your head. As to why, I got a word that a reaping has almost conquered Albus. That is why I'm here, your highness. What do you mean, that is why you're here? You're starting to piss me off. Make yourself clear. Why is the Tamir have you come to Albus? It's hardly a secret, your highness. Just watching the events unfold in this blessed land of Barakan and writing it all down. I'm not so sure that Barakan's blessings look more like a curse to me, but why Albus specifically? A seer told me that the reaping will begin right here, on the day of the Varpal equinox. I was curious to see, but almost didn't make it. I had to travel a long way. A seeress? Was she by chance an attractive young lady, or a crone that looked like freezing your soul? I find her beautiful, past her prime, perhaps, but hardly old. Stumbling upon her in the veil of misery, I didn't really believe her. It's better to see for oneself, so I just dropped by. The seeress was right. It's disappointing that she's so far away. I'd love to meet her. The reaping excites your curiosity, you say. You must be an expert on the subject. If you're as clever as scribes pretend to be, tell me, was the bell ringing during the last reaping? And if it was, how did they stop it? Is there a clue to your scrolls about how to silence the bell? It did ring, but differently. And not for days, at least. I mean, how do you even keep this up? Anyway, stopping the bell is child's play. You just get the bell ringer off the damn thing. Do you have any ideas how many men I've lost in that town hall? I don't need a scribbler, I need a soldiers. So much for your usefulness. Go visit the cardinal and see if he can find a job for you. See here, the bell. Gateway. Let's go ahead and hit the small shop. Speaking to yourself, the cardinal, it appears, usurped Charlin's shop, or Rusk's shop, to use his most recent name. Through the cardinal takes anything he desires, and that bell is already ear-splitting. So here you are, Blanche, and here I was, thinking not a single fly would come to this pile of dung. There are 2 flies now, including you, and once again you're the cardinal, Corazon. So, you're the vagabond again. They told me to call yourself Hopper. I liked Blanche better. I've always been amazed by your passion for changing names. Only Elma has always stayed Elma. Your coming here is no coincidence, is it? And what else did she predict? Nothing really, only the onset of the reaping. Does that mean she hasn't lost her clairvoyance? That's how she pans out. The reaping is also started in Fresca, not just here. That's not your doing, is it, Corazon? Of course not. You don't think that we've sided with the Umbra, do you? We're all Umbra. Enris is, and so is Risk. He got away, and from what I've heard, who came to Albus? Are you saying you don't know, Blanche? I'm surprised. You should have seen the one responsible for all of this. Something hides the events from my sight, but I caught a glimpse. A mortal, with the aura of an Umbra. He resisted a Reaper right here in Albus. An unpredictable feat. Did you see him as we Umbra see each other? But that cannot be. Are you sure? Absolutely sure. Are the gods giving our powers to mortals now? I know nothing about that. I don't think that anyone, gods including, is capable of anything like this. I ask you, how does an ordinary mortal stand his ground against a Reaper? Damn it, this is the grave dangers to all of us. Surprisingly, you've arrived just in time, Blanche. Can I count on you? Is there anything you can't do with a lamp? Shouldn't we be helping each other? Spare regular cuckling. If we're only turning Fruscia into a graveyard, then we had a chance. We could have avoided all of this. Naturally, once we were standing in the middle of a graveyard called Burhana. Those people are like cockroaches, leaving 10 alive, soon there will be thousands of them. At least they're much more efficiency in getting rid of each other than the Reaper ever could be. Is there anything will you offer help in return? Saving someone again, huh? I'd rather you just ask me to kill someone for a change. That's much easier. There are enough murderers at large as is, although you're one of them. Still doesn't the thought of saving someone please you, even a little? Alright, I hear you. I'm afraid that I don't share your idea of fun. I hope you allow me to make a decision about any requests that we make. If so, then we have a deal. Stop dwelling, tell me what you need. It's not that simple. The merchant's name is Peragain. Supposedly saw a woman of profound beauty before the reaping, but no one else did. When he saw the retired captain of Oran's guard, Thorn Burin, with his daughter, they began talking to a Reaper. Why should you care about a merchant's vision? Although Captain Thorn did pique my curiosity. Looks like he's a man I need. Why would a Reaper converse with mortals? I wonder. I don't know. Thorn's wife died first. He took his daughter with a couple of soldiers and scurried away. However, one of the soldiers turned out to be Prince Turin's son, and that numbskull as the prince convinced himself that his son could only be saved by a scribe who stopped the ringing of the town bell. Still evidence. Does the young prince need saving? Thorn is already a goner. The Reaper left his mark on the town gate, and our dear Turlin broke it down while he escaped. The Albra scars are clearly a bit traumatized. Then Thorn goes and hacks them all up. Turlin worries about his kid and wants blood. I don't care for the prince, but I'd like to find Thorn and leave and have him talk to him. Though I don't care for his promised execution either. Prince Trey is not going to take me seriously as a scribe anymore, so I can't promise I'll be any help. Where could Thorn be heading? Thorn will go from mirror to mirror until he realizes the reaping has corrupted all of them. He's already visited the first one nearby, even fought some ministries there. I don't know where he is heading next, and the next minute can be found on the outskirts of your soul. What? How do they know this? How do they know this? These guys got to be like gods or clairvoyants or wizards. As his dangerous foe, Thorn able to go toe-to-toe with them. He didn't earn the captain's rank for nothing. There's hope he's still alive. Being accompanied by such commanders will keep the prince much safer, too. Does Thorn know there's a prince in his squad? Should I care? I don't give a damn about the prince. One of Thorn's companions is the prince's bodyguards. Some guy named Snoop. Oh my god! It's that bratty... Oh my god, it's the big guy. Oh man, okay. His head will be removed from his shoulders the moment any harm comes to the prince. And he knows it. He's going to bust his ass to prevent that. Thorn is much more inquisitive. The worm turns. So the stubborn captain piqued your interest too. You think he had fallen at your feet if you had appeared before him as a reaper? Well, who knows? Wait a second, is this a reaper? That doesn't make any sense. Unless the reaper can take forms? That's interesting. No, why would a reaper take forms? Then he kills everyone around him. That doesn't make any damn sense. You still haven't explained what you needed. I want you to stop the ringing. It's not just Albus that has been affected by this magic. The bells ring all throughout the Burka now. All by themselves. Not a bell ringer in sight. All because of this one here. The Reapers didn't appear anywhere else but here. Why should I care, Coranzon? I'm not unraveling someone else's enchantments. I need this body, and I've got some problems as it is. I do without your help. Maybe you should get to the top of the town hall tower by yourself. Can I weave the mysterious spell? Among the Umbra, you have the best affinity for magic. Give me some advice, at least. Several people already perished in the cursed bell tower. The bell's magic saps the mortal's will and forces them to climb upwards. But we are different. Alright, Corazon. But I'll only take a look. The moment I sense any danger, I'm turning around and getting the fuck out. Alright, let's go to the town hall. As you make your way to the town hall, you join by Corazon. You examine the staircase and can see that it's enchanted. Luckily, this spell doesn't affect Umbra. He's a shadow too? Wait, is everybody Umbra? I guess so. Okay, so he's an Umbra, a different kind of Umbra, a different kind of shadow. As you try to make sense of the spellcraft, Karen creeps up behind you and pushes you forward. You push up the stairs against your will. The sorcery is affecting you too, even though it shouldn't. You turn back, but you can't. Your feet are not your own. Well, so much for not getting into a fight. Huh. I don't know why he's avoiding combat too. Like, wouldn't he want to kill the Reaper? On the upper platform of the bell tower, you find the soldiers who've gotten too close to the enchanted stairs. The guards are vacant. You draw your sword, and guards might not attack you on their own free will, but there's no reason to get yourself killed. Okay, let's go ahead and start this battle. I don't see any archers, so we'll just kill this guy. Yeah. Got some serious HP going here. Just kill them as they come. Huh. Guess the others are going to make their way to me? Yep. Definitely going to push themselves. And then attack. Yep. So you gain energy every time you kill a guy. You got to kill the archer. That archer's going to attack me. Not too worried though. Prepare yourself. The bell keeps ringing and the ropes swing on their own under the weight of the spell's effect. Simply grabbing it should break the spell. You'd be free to leave, but it's a trick. Touching the rope triggers a curse. Thrusting Coruscant was a mistake, and you are about to suffer the consequences. Gather your courage and grab the rope. As your footing on the bell tower crumbles, everything goes black, but the message burns into your mind. Follow the guiding one. Collect the 7 parts of wisdom, read, and be saved. Everybody's cursed. You're cursed. This is cursed. Everyone's cursed. Wake up to someone slapping your face, then hauling you upright. You fight to open your eyes, and the first thing you see is your blackened and frozen hand, which has absorbed the full power of the curse. One look back is enough to confirm your suspicion. The town hall's bell tower has indeed been destroyed. Well, that's not bad. Curse is spending much of the stats. Something. Damn you, Corazon. You scoundrel! I get you out of the rebel, and what do I get in return? Have you gone mute or something? The town hall's tower is no more. You've brought it all down somehow. The store's still in one piece, though, and the ringing has stopped. What kind of magic is out of my league, Coruscant? And I can only tell you that it's definitely kept something horrifying at bay. It still does, but now with my help. See my hand? This unknown sorcerer must have had both hands blackened. Or could it be a sorceress? No matter. A being capable of such spellwork can assume any form. The spell hasn't broken, and there's no ordinary curse on your hand. The bell must have been destroyed then. But I don't understand the enchantment purpose. How should I know? I'm not the bell ringer, and the people of Albus might have slaughtered each other. Damnation, it's your fault if I got caught into some enchantment along with the gods knows who else. What if the blackness reaches my heart? Hasn't happened yet, though with crocodile tears a pompous nobleman is heading your way. You met my request, so I owe you one. However, if you want to ensure my goodwill, I suggest you find Thorn and bring him to Umbra. And I want to have a look at him. Oh, here comes Prince Trig. Why trust this guy? Dream comes true, scribe. The hag was right. You stopped the bell ringing. Well, I invite you to serve the Duran's town from now on. Find my son Ho, and the captain who led them away. Name is Thorn Burns. Save the boy and bring the captain to trial. What? Excuse my insolence, Your Highness, but I want to get this straight. First, I hear about a girl of profound beauty. Now there's talk of some hag. And what's with this dream? Does it have anything to do with your orders? I dreamt of a terrifying hag who foretold your arrival. She tried to soothe me, said you'd help me. Don't grit your teeth, Coruscant. Respect the Kern's crown. You demand respect for the crown, but you show none to the temple. All these dreams and prophecies is pure heresy. And forget about Thorn. He's not your subject, so it's not up to you to bring him to justice. It might surprise you, monk, but I am perfectly capable of making decisions without your precious guidance. It is too much to say an annoying temple advisor is belong on the rack. Why are we serving this crown? Temple is above the crown. Temple serves only Braha. I like to believe that, especially with war approaching in the southern kingdoms. I'll say it once more, Coruscant. If anything happens to Ho, Thorn loses his head. I will pray that your son gets out of this unscathed, yet I don't think it is wise to exact vengeance on a person trying to rescue him. The gods aren't that reliable. I'd be happy to do your bidding, Your Highness. You showed kindness to me once, and it's time I return the favor. How? How did the Highness show favor or kindness? Oh, I guess showing him the books? Maybe. Finally, a voice of reason. I don't care if it comes from a bookworm. Thank you, Coruscant, for your prayers. And you, Scribe, will have others to assist you. Okay. Anything else here? Anything else here? I didn't realize that you could scroll through this. This is pretty cool. But yeah, just you have an acquaintance of your new companions before leaving Albus. Pushing your new companions out of the blue and enters a royal service, found in myself some good traveling companions. This man you haven't met yet. You're a new face to me. I've probably gotten to spiel about our goals and reasons, but it's still like a proper introduction. My name's Hopper Rose. I'm a scribe. I'm stern of the Albus Guards, and Durin picked me up by the watchtower and pestered me with questions all the time. Now they've sent me to accompany you. I'm not thrilled, but it's better than arguing with Prince Treg. Interesting. You look like you don't approve, Stern. Look, I know Thornbrand, and I'm certain that he wouldn't kill without good reason. If anything, he tried to save the prince. I'll follow the orders and find him but in my opinion, he's innocent. You are indeed a man of duty, following orders you disapprove of. For the time being, all you have to do is to point Thorn out to me, and then we'll catch up to him. Everyone has their own responsibilities. One of our captains thought differently, but Thornbrow is another story. It's his father's duty to protect his child. Protect them he will. Had it not been for the cursed reaping, Thorn might have replaced Trouble of Bergenmaster. Many noble souls have ascended the scaffolding, but few have returned alive. We have plenty of time to talk away. Let's make it through the gate first. Time is of the essence, so I won't linger here to incur the prince's wrath. Wait a moment, book lover. His Highness told me to give you a jug of temple balm. Doesn't want you to be ill, I guess. He's also granted you traveling documents of his personal seal. Here you go. It'll make the journey easier. How curious. The prince showers us with gifts for the job that hasn't been half done. Well, if that's all that you have to say, let's head out immediately. Let's talk privately for a moment. There's a long road ahead, and I need to tell you something. They say that the Cardinal blessed you, so you're not just some filthy sorcerer, right? So you won't make fun of me. Tall as you are, you're forced to look up at the giant. You wait for him to say something. The thing is, whatever hag appeared to our prince in his dreams, I saw a pretty girl, the one of Purdangang thought he'd glimpsed, only I never mentioned her to anyone. Why didn't you? Did you pity the girl, or was it something else? And how did you know it was the same girl? There are many pretty women in Burkana, more than anywhere else in the world, if you ask me. They make your blood race, not curl. I nearly shut my pants when she entered my tent. The way she stared at me, and then she vanished into thin air. I decided that it would be best to keep silence about her, for appearance sake. Why did you bring her up, then? So she came to me because of you. Tell your new companions to look for signs, she said. If he values his life, he should watch and listen closely. The signs she mentioned should be found on the burnt out coals, or ruins of a place where there's no water. Something crazy like that. Crazy or not, thanks for telling me. I'll rack my brain for a way to save the prince and solve these puzzles. Let's go. Your ruler cannot wait to see us leave. Leap upon your saddle and have plenty to think about. Clearly, Coruscant received no message. It was addressed to you. Follow the guided one. Collect the 7 parts of wisdom. Read and be saved. Gods know that these parts of wisdom might be the guiding ones is also a mystery. It seems there is a long road ahead, no time for leisure traveling at the far ends of Terium. Reaping, the prince, the thorn, and his daughter are all bound together. One can only pray that there is no need to sever this knot. Oh, we go the opposite direction that they went? Really? So we can go to the stone bridge. Coal burners tracks. Continue. There we go. Stern squints with a smile. Here's Albus's watchtower. I was on duty when the reaping began. It wasn't until a couple of days later that Jonas came to fetch me and told me about the events in town. I never thought I'd return so soon. Look at the tower. Notice a rider silhouette against it. By his statue, he is an Aesir. This is their time, after all. Looks like the abominations are keeping watch now, you say with a smirk. According to ancient manuscripts, masked warriors always appeared during the Reaper. The giant reaches for his weapon. An abomination, you say. That's no good. Let's trash the enemy, boys, and you, book lover, stay by the tower. And don't stick your neck out. They haven't noticed you. Attack! You don't like the idea of smoking the ashes out of this tower. You don't want to risk having to replace your horse. Once the Aesir's get further away from the tower, you slink after them. And the abominations don't notice you until you reach the edge of the woods. When they do, they turn around and attack you in silence. Attack! Always attack! And we leveled up. Where are we going to get our skills on? Mental Blast. Energy. Sharp Blade. Let's definitely go Sharp Blade. Characters. Do we have anybody else? Yeah, less enemies you have to worry about, the better. Always attack enemies. Unless you can't attack, right? So always attack unless you can't attack. Okay. Really? Only got one guy here? Do we have an archer? Start battle. Should be able to kill him really quickly. Awesome. It's going straight for the magic user. Beautiful. Yeah, this guy's a badass. I don't know why he needs protection. Huh. Oh, yeah. Bingo. Victory! After After a skirmish, you return to the tower and clean yourself up with a simple spell. No need to reveal your talents just yet. It comes back looking smart, indicating that Ezra Scout's is as good as dead. You nod to the giant and mount your horse. It's time to continue the journey. Yeah. Yeah, always kill the scouts. They don't need to know about you. Okay, I see here. This road follows the dry riverbed, waiting in rocky things. We're going to we're pretty much just going to follow them. I don't know why we wouldn't follow them. The horde bends again. Argus spots something in the way. Look, Hopper. There's a little girl all alone. What is in the world is she doing with no village nearby? She has a bucket, but the spring will be dry until autumn. When the raids feed the river. When you get closer, the girl steps towards you and offers a bucket of water. Where could she draw water of the spring if the spring is dry? Did she bring it all the way home? Something doesn't fit. You can sense another sorcery, and remember that you should look for clues in places without water. The girl might be bewitched and in need of help, or it could be another trap. Try to sort out another spell work. Little by little, you grasp the weaving of the enchantments. You can't interpret it fully, but it seems like you're facing an illusion. You can either refuse the rules of the mirage and rip the weaving apart, or confirm your suspicions first. Break the strange enchantment. Make sure you're dealing with an illusion. Pick up a pebble and toss it in the air several times before dropping it, as if by accident, so that it rolls towards the girl. It rolls straight through her foot. This truly is an illusion. Ask the girl if she needs help. You squat in front of the girl and ask where her parents are, and if she needs help finding them. The girl just smiles and offers you the bucket of water. I mean, we don't have to play this game. Look for hints. Accept the drink of water. You squat and hold out your hand to the bucket. The girl smiles and sloshes the water at you. Your eyes shut instantly, but the water never touches your face. Echo lets out an audible sigh. When you open your eyes, there's no trace of the little girl with the bucket. You're surprised to find your arms feel better. When the girl smiles at you, it seems to have made the blackness retreat a bit. Woohoo! Echo points to the ground. Look, there's something written in the dirt where the girl just stood. You will find one on the two. Gibberish. Must be another riddle. You know what, book lover? Let's make ourselves scarce. All this weird stuff could drive someone nuts. Nice. Okay. Northern Road. Let's continue. Yeah. Yeah. So I think we can trust the illusion. Leaving the lifeless Dryford village behind, you approach the memoir of Albus. The road and bridge are stained with blood, but the bodies have been taken away. On the other side of the bridge near the memoir are some fresh graves and a regiment of guards. When the guards recognize Sakia and wave, Sakia, it is really you going to Urus, huh? This is a special assignment, or are you just heading home? Akia leaps from his horse. Where are you? Where I'm going shouldn't concern you, friend. Let's just say that I'm escorting someone important, a scribe, a mage licensed by the temple. The guard pushes back his helmet. Listen, could his importance maybe help us out? We have orders to bury the villagers' remains and to remove the abomination signs from the men here. We've done the first, but the second, it doesn't come off. Obviously, you shouldn't touch it with your bare hands, and we've already tried everything. Inspect the myth here. You give Akron a nod and dismount, glancing at the graves. You approach them with there. One grave is slightly older and smaller. The others look fresh. The stink of decay hits you like a hammer. The Reaper's sign of the Mesmer seems to glow from within. Guard trails behind you. This is where we buried the villagers, part of them, I should say. I've never seen anything like it. It's like that they were hit by a rain of steel. We found the watchmen assigned to their posts on the other side of the grave. The grave was there already, and when we arrived, and we had to exhume them to find out. Fellow lives there have barely been wounded, but their blood had been drained. I think Thornbrand buried them. Nobody else Nobody else from Umbra traveled this way. He couldn't have killed them, could he? Because he went to the trouble to burying them? You shake your head. I haven't met this Thorn, but it's the Inseers who drain the blood from the corpse. Some people call them abominations. Didn't you find their bodies? I guess not. They'd be hard to miss. Thorn must have run into them on the bridge. There's blood, but no bodies. They probably tossed them into the Messen. You inspect the Minmar once more. A mark like this won't come off no matter how hard you scrubbed it. It will glow, however, faintly, until the reaping is over. It's stronger than the sign on the gate. A sacred stone. The guard throws up his arms. So what do we do? Prince Jimmy won't have this. They'll take this road back to Earthside. Seeing that the job unfinished is bound to get him all steamed up. Then we'll have our asses in the sling. You cast another glance at Mythmere and feel a strange tingling in your arm. You imagine yourself touching the mammoth from the Reaper's side, glowing ever so faintly, vanishing into the stone. You realize that you're not thinking straight, with great effort to get control of yourself. So we got a curse. Touching the stone will likely be bad. In the conversation, leave. You shake your head as if breaking a spell. It's not something I can do. Tell Trig that it's impossible for anyone to erase the sign until the reaping is over. I'm short on time, too. This Mithra won't be the last. Argon shakes his head. Thorn will head to the next mountain now. It's a long ways to go, and the rocky road makes it tough to read the hoof prints. We must leave now if we want to know which way the Thorn went to catch up with him.
In these times of trouble, you could use some of your youthful daring, for which you've been nicknamed Mad Thorn. It seems, though, that your daughter has it aplenty.
All right. We'll continue this until Chapter 3. All right, where are we going? Owen's Pass. So we keep going back and forth, back and forth. We cannot let your daughter die. The only hopes for a cure for double is the double number. You catch up to overloaded peasant's cart and strike up a conversation with the driver. His name is Bramham, and he's moving his family with his brother's farm. You realize their destination has been ravaged by the Essern. Glenda warns the peasants of the possible danger. They don't believe her at first, and then reconsider and turn their cart around. Then it shows them the newborn and begs them to take it, but the head of the family is reluctant. Offer him money. We've got tons of cash, so we'll be okay. You hand the man a money purse and he grins broadly. He tells his wife to take the baby, bowing and swearing he'll raise the child as his own. Gilda rides up and asks the family of whether the family will safely make it home to their village. Escorting the slow-moving cart will take a day and a half just to get there. Escort the family to their home. You offer to help, which is a pleasant, gladly accept. You lost some time and money, but are happy to have found a family for a baby. Your companions are pleased. Well, shit. We need to be careful. During a short rest, Hodin saw us step aside, speaking in hushed tones. We've grown tired of their lack of discipline, and it's time that they know how you feel. What are you whispering about? You're plotting something. Now, of all times, I have many questions for you two. It's best you answer them now.
Huh?
I figured he'd find out sooner or later. This is not your clueless Krager. We should tell him the truth. It's long overdue. Alright, here goes. You see, Captain, the young Prince Hode is headstrong. He quarrels with his grandfather, the King of Jurnus. As a result, Prince Trey is here. Prince Ho's father sent him off to the young soldier's regiment. The King of Jurnus? Who's Prince Ho? Who's father? And are you babbling on, damn you? I'm telling you it as it is. Stop leaving anything out. They made Prince Ho a young Albus warrior to get him some discipline, and me as bodyguard. His name is changed to Hode. But mine stay the same. I'm not as important, I guess. Captain, you said yourself that it was time for a serious talk, so we're telling you the truth. That was a bolt from the blue. I actually came to talk about discipline and the fact that Snow's following you all the time, ignoring orders. Turns out I was calling you Your Highness. And what do I do with this knowledge, Soap? You're the captain, you decide. The only thing I ask is the name of all the gods. Don't try to send to His Majesty or to His Majesty. No good will come of this. I know better than to interfere with royal bickering. I've had enough on my plate. Do you at least realize that if he dies, all of us will hang, not just you? I'll do my best to keep him alive. I don't really want to die either. I suggest you don't call Horde Prince in public to be safe. That's a lot to take in. For now, Hode remains Hode. Everyone else tries to stay alive. We travel as planned. If anything changes, I'll let you know. Okay, what do we got here? So where are we going? We're trying to find... There should be certain areas, right? There should be certain areas that have this. We're trying to save her, so I guess it really doesn't matter which direction. The Cursed Grove. Well-trodden highway marked the post of road signs frequently reported by the guards. Already broken and unkept, but still decent roads traverse a decent island and towards the spur of the Milky Mountains. Let's go ahead and go that way. Ran past the ruined tavern, you notice the trampled grass and pause to investigate. A dozen people must have been here recently, perhaps travelers like you, or maybe bandits. The late burgomaster of Ireland once told you a funny story about this place. 400 years ago, the Sinsaki brothers, who lived in the backwoods called the Woodland Watch, lost the corpse under a tavern to Tropple's younger brother in a game of cards. The new owner tried to get rid of it, but found no buyers, and then lightning strikes bringing it to the ground. Nobody bought it because, expecting a few hunters, no one really ventures to these parts anymore. The tracks near the ruins look suspicious, but you can't decide what to do. Ask Frisk about the tavern. As expected, Frisk knows every tavern within a week's travel from Albus. It wasn't a very good tavern, he says. Not that many people came around. I remember the signs most clearly, cut on both sides in an ugly way. Corpse Adder? What a name. Search the ruins. It's hard to miss the signs laying in the dirt. Its unsettling description may spare by rotten fire. Someone painted the word farm on it, and a white sheet of paint still fresh. You don't know what it means, and it looks like a temple's tongue. Step away from the sign. Search the closest shrubs. In the shrubs, you discovered an armed crossbow, an inconspicuous piece of string tied to it that leads to wood signs. And the crossbow was... Oh! Woohoo! Oh, this was a trap! This was a trap! Awesome! Step away from the sign, and then leave. Turn the sign over. Word written on the other side was white paint. Hawk's March, where bandits exchange secret messages on the simple tongue. They can't be that educated. You leave the ruins of the temple, look more look, and return to the road. You're very tempted to stop by the woodland watches and ask the Servant brothers if the crossbow trap was their handiwork. One of your companions could have been killed. Let's see here, what's this? A burnt clearing across the woods, convenient to travelers, undaunted by wild animals or thugs. Already broken and unkept, but still a decent road traverses the decent lands near the spurs of the Milky Mountains. Let's go ahead and go that way. Sometimes staying off the main path is the right path. Glendon Byrne points out something lying on the road. You ride closer and discover two dead bodies, a man and a woman. A live child, no older than 10. A couple are probably killed by bandits who didn't see use for the child. Take the child with us. As you draw closer, the boy stops crying and looks at you. He's scared. You dismount and persuade him to ride with you. The boy is silent all the while. For long, you run into an armed patrol. It's chasing bandits who has robbed travelers on this road. The guards bid you to stop, which you do. When they see you, so they draw their weapons. You're the very bandits we've been looking for, they say. Try to negotiate. You shut your sword and call it to the commander's side, and the 100 gold points pursues them. He takes the boy to the city. I guess that works. Continue. As you approach the double Menthier, Brett points to the stockade and cries, "It's the Ernest, they're storming the gates!" You decide to strike the abomination from behind with your companions. Soon as it becomes clear the stakes which made the Essen dismount will be in your way as well. You have to fight the Essen on foot. By ourselves? Surely we have allies. Tons of bodies here. Yep. Okay. Okay. Definitely you. Definitely you. You're good. Hode's an assassin. You're coming with us. You're coming with us. Spearman's coming with us. Where's our archer? Yep, archer's coming with us. Let's fight! Might as well toughen you up, man. Might as well toughen you up. I don't know if the prince is going to stay with us or not, though. Okay. Let's go ahead and auto-battle this. She's up first. She's definitely going to go kill people. No, I would have striked probably one of those two first. Or just dropping the guy is good. Alright, you're up. Ouch. Should have some range on him, yep. Beautiful. Ouch. Spearman at the ready. Shank him. Beautiful. Let's see what he does. Ouch. Awesome. Go Archer! Woohoo! I think those are javelin throwers. Oh, wow, okay. Beautiful. Ouch. Nice. Nice. Drain. Alright, look at all this. Okay. Go ahead and close. Alright, we made it to our next location. The parasol gate does not open immediately. You feel as if you are being watched. The squat man appears between the leaves. You recognize your ancient comrade, Vergen, who has fought on many campaigns together. Vergen hurries towards you. Thornburn, by thunder and lightning, I could have dreamed of seeing you here. I'm so glad, friend. You cannot even imagine. Get your companions inside before the abominations return. There will be another group. Ernest draws you into his mighty embrace. His strength has not diminished since you last met, but you managed to wrestle yourself free. Easy there, old bear. Tell me what's going on in your stockade. That's not why the gates were immediately. Ask him how he knows more abominations will come. And lowers his voice. I've been wondering about that myself. You see, this old healer Chila arrived in the stockade and started raving about the scum. I almost shooed her off, and that's when the scum appeared. And then it happened again. From then on, I've been listening to her every last word. You look around. She's turned out to be a seer. I never thought seers were real. I would like to talk to her. Perhaps she would predict something useful for me. That's why the gates weren't immediately opened for you. Chief Watchman makes a helpless gesture. They distract us, those son of a sea urchins. Some of them climb over the palisade on the other side. It took us some time to beat them back. Run back to the gates and look carefully at the other side. You brush off the remark, and we manage here by ourselves. It's not the first time we've faced these abominations. This conversation returned. Hogan puts his hand on your shoulder. If I were you, I wouldn't be so rash. We have a plague too. One of the women who used to cling to the mirror for every sneeze tried her lucky already. She touched the stone, and that was the end for her. We found a mark on her neck, and she's been choking on fire, choked by a fiery noose. Everyone stay away from the arch now. Wave of disappointment washes over you. Damnations. It's Albus all over again. Did you see a monster with gray skin by any chance? Chief's watchman expression becomes grave. No, it was just the masked ones. I wouldn't be surprised to see a monster, though. I'm not a dock rat to be hiding in dark corners. This is the good place for a breather. Please, make yourself at home. When the abomination comes, I'll give the signal. Will you aid an ancient comrade? You nod. I will. We will not. We are not going to stay long. But we gave a warm welcome to any abomination that approaches the gate. However many crawl through, they will not be any match for you. This is your home turf. Meanwhile, we do need rest. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to the markets. Sticks glisten in the vineyard stalls, making you wonder whether you should tell everyone about their properties. There was a time, you recall, when you saved each other's lives. Say nothing but share your sticks with Vern. Tell Vern that you want to give him a protective talisman in memory of this meeting. In fact, you hand him several sticks, and it is not much, but they will keep your friend safe for some time. Okay, let's see what we got here. +2 energy, +4 health, +1 attack, 18 sticks, 32 sticks, 18, 32, stone skin, deadly balance. Reduces health by 50% on random enemy unit and reduces health by 50% to a random party member. No, that might kill him. That's kind of dumb. Why would you take that? Why would you take that? +1 to attack. Purchase. And then purchase. Purchase. That was what we got here. Increase attack to 5, increase by 5 to all party members. It reduces health by 60 to the random. No. That's crap too. Why would you want that? Dreamcatcher and health. We're good there. You are about to leave the market when you notice Hud. He is holding a wooden comb with a wistful look in his face. You come closer and ask, "Aren't these teeth a bit long for your locks?" Rhoda tosses the comb back to the small and lets out a disappointed snort. This is not for me. I haven't visited Ursa in a long time. There's a woman here. I want to buy her a gift, but it's so hard to choose. You frowned. What kind of woman is that? You're a prince, for God's sake. Oh, looks at you in bewilderment. I'm talking about my old nurse. Her name is Tenya. She nurtured and raised me. She always held her tongue, a good woman. What do you think I could get her? She has no digitary, and she already has everything she needs. You shrug. In that case, it doesn't matter what you get. It can be anything, a comb, a scrawl, a brooch. If she cares about you, any gift will bring her joy. Pick whatever calls out to you. Alright, let's talk to him. Picks a spot of a good view of the manor and admire the stone arch. You keep staring at the arch. Never seen a double mirror before, have you? No, I haven't. Never even ventured so far out on these parts. That being said, I have heard as such as the mirror. When I was a kid, Granny told me a story of a warrior who had been walked between two mirrors and was rejuvenated. This must be some Vandal's tale. I'm not familiar with it. Do you think it refers to a particular myth here? If it does, then Mandra must have traveled far away from home. Just like my granny, she used to tell me stories about her homeland. She said she had never left. She should have never left. But she fell in love with my grandfather. The heart wants what it wants. I think about your story. Nowadays, it's hard to tell the truth from fantasy. Old Cranlor's near the... How many years has it been, Vergen? About 10? I thought you'd be a captain by now. Why didn't you apply yourself elsewhere? I'm surprised to find you here. It just happened, Thorn. After the Pelinan campaign, I served under your brother-in-law, Branch Verncici. I'm lucky I managed to get out of the capital. He didn't like me. That Baron Vigici might have been my waggling tongue. I'd have even been our friendship, so no, I didn't attain the rank of captain. That's unfortunate. Why didn't you find me? I would have gone to my father-in-law and put in a word for you. Although without you here, the local watch might have made it much worse. Where are these injuries coming from? Who knows? The first few seem to pop out of thin air just beside the Mythmere. The rest swarm in from the outside. I lost too many men, soldiers and villagers alike. These abominations don't seem to be wearing any armor, but they are hard to kill. It's like stabbing a jellyfish with an oar. We must have been lucky. Our losses were far fewer. The village of Danfur suffered the most. About 100 locals died, some torn limbs from limbs, while others were still alive. How could such abominations exist? Anyhow, we've made mincemeat out of the tougher enemies. With your help, we'll stand firm. Chilla will warn us when danger approaches. What can you tell me about Brand? We're kicking him out of Odahala, so that he is in Jurin now. He gained the confidence of the king and lost all boundaries. He's currently in Ursa. Unfortunately, he has no match for the local commander, Strix. The king trusts Strix more. What are the officials in Jurin thinking? Can't they tell honey from shit by its taste? They are cut from the same sleazy cloth. Every man of honor joins Crown Prince Treya's army, which left only the scum in the king's court. Lesser nobles are making a stink, of course, but they are not picking fights. Brand has something like a squadron of mercenaries.
Hey.
We should keep a low profile in Ursa. Brand has the reasons I moved from Albanus. In the fit of temper, his father left everything to his children. If Bran had a bone to pick with me before, I'm sure that he wants me dead now. Did the plague make everyone lose their mind? Every other man has a mark on his neck, but I didn't think everyone has his wits about them. Judd, the healer, brought some ointment. It doesn't stop the disease, just relieves the pain, which isn't much of it, but we make do. Make do? Cripes. Did you even send for help? You still have a guard and a half left. Do you think that I would twiddle my thumbs here? Of course I sent a messenger. Two, in fact. Still no answer from Ursa. I just hope that they don't have any troubles of their own. Besides, if they do, our backwater will be the last of their concern. Did you think... alright. I'll see to my duties. So much for remembering the old times, huh? Couldn't put your feet up then? Can't do it now. Well, I want to hear about your family, Thorn. I'm still a bachelor, but you're a married man. How are the children? My daughter is right here. She fought beside me. I taught her the moves. My son is serving in the capital. As for Leaky, she died in Albus.
Hey!
Goodness gracious, my condolence, Thorn. I was wondering why you were here out of sorts. Forgive me, friend. I'll stop pestering you. He seems like a good guy. I like him so far. There are dead heirs at the bottom of the pyramid. One of them has lost his mask. You stop to examine his pale, refined, feminine features. No doubt he came from another land. A strange sword is glistening on the grass nearby like so many glass shards. You notice Flint stamping among the bodies. He stoops, picking up a curious weapon from the air and stares at it intently. You approach the boy.
Huh?
I see curiosity has overcome fear now. What are you looking for? Checking ink marks against the bloodstains? What can you tell me about Meathir? Are these incidents so intended on getting to the Mythser? There hasn't been that many of these abominations in every kingdom. From Barca sent just one brigade to every stone. These Esters will not stand a chance. Can you manage to explain this? That I cannot answer, Thorn. Either I haven't read enough, or even the scribes fall short of such knowledge. It has been noted, though, that there often appear by the sacred stones once the reaping begins. Since they seem to have come out of nowhere, walls cannot stop them, and men have a hard time fighting them. What can you say about the reaping? I don't know what to make of it anymore. I've always thought those legends nothing more than telltales. But these events proved me wrong. Rack your brain, you might remember something. We need every bit of knowledge that might help us. That's why I'm wondering here. I would gratefully consult my scrolls, but I left them all in Oda. If anything useful springs to mind, I will come to and the double captain. We're staring at the instruments. Curious. There are foreigners, their swords. In the old chronicles, there were instances that the Kinera were lashes. Some people believe that the Issa and the Kira are the same people, or perhaps that the Kira are their descendants. Mr. Jean bewildered. As though the old chronicles call for their swords, the wielders, they say, command their swords by pure thought, but the Alastians wouldn't answer to just anyone. The Quimar, well, they are a nomadic tribe that live on the other side of the Milky Mountains. Wait a second, aren't we on the other side of the Milky Mountains? Those are the Kumar bound, which I have been brushed away as old wives' tales. But now I'm not so sure. I have to go. Right, let's talk to the witch. Let's go to the area. Let's start upgrading people. You have a character set. +1 to attack. Oh, you already got that? Anger, knockback. Yes. More HP is always good. +1 to attack. +1 to walk. Yep. Focus. What is this? Unlock skill focus. +1 to attack. And everybody else. Yeah, okay. We're looking pretty good. Although we do have stuff. +1 to attack. Thinking archer? What's this? Archer, be a badass. +4 health. Yep, okay. Tent. The Cirrus might know something useful. It's worth talking to her. Good day to you, Chilla. My name is Thorn Berlin. I've arrived here just recently, but you've heard so much about you. Could it be that the gods have sent you to my aid, or is it pure coincidence? Nothing in this coincidence, Thorn. I'm also my own master, and I don't run others' errands. But you are here for a reason. The guards have probably told you many things. What do you want? You must already know what I want. It's not every day that one meets a seer, let alone a seer whose prophecies come true. It's your ointment for sale. It's not my ointment, it's the temple's balm. They've been brewing it for over 700 years, but have only found a use for it now. They rub it against every neck within reach. I brought some from Ursa and gave it all to Velgen. Why do you need it? It's only relieves the pain. It's not a sticks to offer no protection. The texts are melting. Do you suggest we all wander around looking for them until the reapers abate? You will not wander long. Sooner or later you will come to where it is fated. Providence, of course. That is, if you don't perish on the way. I'm the master of my own fate. Only I can decide how and where I go. Perhaps you could give me an idea where I should be going. Don't worry about the reaping, Thorn. The time will come for each of us to face our own woes, especially your companions. The older one, he's exhausted himself and got weak. Do you mean Krager? He's gnawing at himself in some sort of illness. Perhaps a kind of yearning? Can I help him? We have no way of helping him. No one but Krager himself can beat back that thing devouring him from the within. The best thing you can do is to kill him before he kills any of those he is meant to protect. Kill him? Are you mad? No matter what you see in the future, Krager will never betray us. Of that I am sure. Let us not discuss this further. Perhaps you could give me an idea of where to go next. Don't need my idea, Thorn. From here, the only way to Ursa. Try your luck there. Though I know not whether it will be on your own side. If every manor is imbued with poison, we could find no cure in Ursa. Or is there something else apart from the stones? What awaits me in that city? It's not what, but who. Look for Uda, the healer. She may be the only one who can help you. Alright. I shall pay her a visit, unless she disappears from the city again. I did everything I needed. Yeah, I'm sorry. Is it possible that I've seen you before? We have never met, but I'm sure. But there is something oddly familiar in your eyes. I've wandered far and wide. Could have encountered each other. In my age, details escape me. Here, put on this bracelet so that I can recognize you next time. These are not sticks, but not pebbles either. You will find them useful. Don't take the bracelet off. If you chance upon Umbra and Nursa, tell her that the source must be preserved. Remember in verbatim, the source must be preserved. I will, and thank you. I guess I should go now. I'll find Daddy before he starts getting worried. Source must be protected. Your old comrade is sitting alone by the inn. Why are you sitting here all by yourself? Are you ill or just sober? Your face is as ashened. Is an old wound acting up? Some wounds are infected from within, Thorn. It's like ice in my chest. I have to tell you something. In Albus I deserted. I abandoned my post and my men. Should have stood my ground once shit started happening. But I chickened out in Bolta as soon as the Reaper thing vanished. Ran for my life and then to Frisk. That's when my shame caught up with me. But the fear is still there, eating me up from the inside. You need rest, my friend. Take a breath and put this nonsense out of your head. I know I can always rely on you. That's better. Get yourself together and return my right-hand man, Kreger, to me. Deal? Alright, Thorn. I'll do my best. Let's see here. On the hill. Walk under the archway. You walk between the Mithrin stones, careful not to touch them. A divine force washes over you, letting you feel at peace. Your wounds are healed, your mind settles. Seeing that you are unharmed, the others follow your lead. Party's injury level decreased by 1. Okay, and then leave. Oh, these stones are bad. Okay, let's see if she has anything else to say. You've returned, have you? You still have some questions? Alright, yeah, okay, nothing's going on there. Let's check the gate. There's no signs of Versa yet. Watchman will give a signal the moment that he spots an enemy from the watchtower. You wonder whether you should wait for the attack of the gate or finish your business in the stockade first. Stay put until the astronauts arrive. You doze off a little, waiting for the enemy. While the sound of horn rises from your side, you give these abominations a proper reception. Just before battle, you notice Kreger suddenly clutching his throat. As you look up, there's nothing but menace in his eyes. I mean, this is the same group we wanted before, right? I mean, we could take the monk. Let's fight this. We should be pretty well... oh, crap. Let's see how this rolls out. I knew that he was pretty powerful, but I didn't know that we would have to fight him. Ugh! Oh, man. Oh, crap. Okay. Let's start the battle. That's all. increased his movement, which helps out a lot. And he's got plus red range. Dang. Some range right there. Archer, fire! Beautiful. Interesting. Shank. Wise or not. Okay, he's just getting closer. Some mysterious energy boosting right there. Yep, shoot him, shoot him. Beautifully done. Not too worried about that. See where she goes. That double strike's pretty badass. You may want to nerf that thing. Beautiful. Woohoo! Nicely done. Stick Spring Soul. Tons of gold, though. Nicely done. Cooling down after the battle, you stand beside the body of your former friend and comrade and regard it with horror. It is covered in blood and still looks like Krager, but you know that it is no longer him. It is a beast that turned against his friends. Your companions are in shock too. Some check their own teeth. Words come to you with difficulty. A warrior dies when an enemy strikes him with his blade. But sometimes it isn't the blade, but evil sorcery that kills him. I believe that this was no fault of Krager's. Still, report to me immediately if you begin to feel strange. When he comes closer, folks might get scared. We should bury him somewhere. I'll look for hooks. I doubt that anyone would dare touch him with his bare hands. Let's go, Thorn. There's nothing else we can do for him. You bend down and take the captain's insignia off Krager's chest. The pendant is hot. You hand it to your daughter. Keep this, Glenda. We'll return it to his family if we get a chance. Glenda wraps Krager's pendant with a piece of fabric and stashes it. At this rate, pretty soon there won't be much left of Krager's pendant. I'm afraid. No. Nor will there be of yours. You stand facing your fallen comrade. Farewell, Krager. You have been a good warrior and a true friend. This madness could have taken over any of us. Rest in peace. Okay, well. You return to the Sears Center, but she's not there. Instead, you see Varan approaching. Old Fred slaps you on the back. If Chinchilla vanishes, scent hounds won't track her down. She comes and goes as she pleases. Take my word for it, you'll only waste time looking for her. Check the market, I guess. +2 energy. Do we need anything else? +4 health is pretty nice. Energy. Increase defense by 20. Both of those are okay. I guess we're done with that. You gather your party at the barracks and give out orders. Just wait for the next day. The party is ready to set out, but Frisk is nowhere to be found. After some time he appears. Reyna is leading him towards you with a mob of villagers and guards at their heels. Reyna is furious. Blast my gizzard thorn. We caught your companion for stealing. To make matters worse, as we tried to apprehend him, he speared Glenn, the potter. I'll take this murderer into custody unless you have something to say. Who's Frisk? Leave Frisk with the guards. You tell everyone that you are delivering the scumbag into the hands of justice of this kingdom. Your ancient comrade is taken aback, and he takes the criminal into custody. Your companions are disheartened by your decision.
In enemy territory, a campfire gives warmth, but the cold gives protection. Shadow Clan's code for warriors of peace.
Alright, and that's the end of Chapter 2. I will see you folks in the next video. Bye.